Good evening. It seems to be the story of every woman in this country, be it the 4 metros, smaller towns or the remotest areas of the country. There is no end to the disgusting, shameful way in which this country treats its own women. Protests, candlelight marches, outrage on social media are all fine. But when there is no real change, when there is no real change visible, when despite all of this, our mothers, our sisters, friends, colleagues still say they don't feel safe at all, raped, molested, eve-teased, what have you. And how will they? Look at what our elected leaders say. They say, don't wear clothes of a certain kind, or something absolutely impractical like inform police every time you go somewhere. Take a look. It is this kind of insensitivity that shows it is now time to take matters into our own hands, that it is now time to fight back. Fight back and give every woman in this country the respect that is her right. Until that happens, we will continue to ask some tough questions. Is learning self-defense the only way to handle rapes? Have Indian women become victims of a medieval mindset? Is castration for rapists the only deterrent for the crime? Are candlelight vigils and outrage merely passing fads? Now, those questions and many more tough questions tonight on Speak Out India. Before we take your calls, let's bring you the latest on the investigation in the case. The third accused in the brutal gang rape of a 22-year-old photojournalist in Mumbai arrested by police. According to sources, Siraj Rahman is aged between 20 and 25 years. Earlier today, after the arrest of second accused Vijay Jadhav, the Mumbai police said that he has confessed to his crime. The first accused, 19-year-old Mohammad Abdul, who was arrested within hours of the incident, has been sent to police custody till August the 30th.
जैसे इस केस में जैसे जैसे घटना घड़ी, जैसे हमको मालूम चला, कंप्लेंट जैसे हुई, उसके हिसाब से इस आरोपी ने भी अपने को स्वीकार किया है कि ऐसे ऐसे हुआ है। इसने भी एडमिट किया, इसने भी स्वीकार किया कि इसने भी गड़बड़ किया है। और जितने 2 आरोपी थे, उनके एक आरोपी के बारे में अभी थोड़ा अपने को नाम के बारे में तो आपको सही नाम अपने को मिल गया है। तो अपना जो तपास है, इन्वेस्टिगेशन है, ठीक डायरेक्शन में चल रहा है और मुझे विश्वास है कि जल्दी से जल्दी जो बचे हुए आरोपी हैं वो पकड़े जाएंगे। और हम लोग बहुत ही क्लिंचिंग एविडेंस के साथ जल्दी से जल्दी कोर्ट के अंदर इस केस में चार्जशीट सबमिट करेंगे। जहाँ तक लड़के की जो पीड़ित लड़की है उसकी हालत की बात है, लड़की की कंडीशन सही है।
The brutal gang rape has once again led to a slew of protests across the country. The opposition is now demanding the resignation of State Home Minister R.R. Patil. The BJP cadres protested outside the Bogiwara court in Mumbai, demanding the resignation of R.R. Patil today. Meanwhile, in Chennai, women journalists held protests outside the press club, calling for stricter action against rapists.
This is not a police problem, or this is basically a social problem. Unless the attitude of the people change, on the ground nothing is going to change much. So everyone has to change.
What happened in Bombay is just terrible. Now, I don't know what the government is going to do. I don't know whether it's going to be a bill that's going to help, I don't know what is going to help, but they better figure out something.
It doesn't deter us. We are just asking for the cities to be safe so that we are not afraid, we don't tremble at the thought of going out. We don't. We want to do our work. We want to do these challenging assignments. We don't want to sit in office. We don't want to sit at home. We don't believe in the safe havens theory. The city should be safe for the woman.
And adding to the shame are our politicians, our so-called leaders, whose solution to the constant disrespect shown to women in this country and society is, of course, to blame the Western culture first of all, blame the women as well, and also make remarks that indirectly call women weak. 3 politicians, Samajwadi Party's Naresh Agarwal, who said women need to watch what they wear, and Western culture and media are also to blame. RJD's Lalu Prasad Yadav. Now he says that women journalists should inform the police where they are going. And this takes the cake. Maharashtra Navnirman Sena's Raj Thackeray, who with a remark that he may have thought was batting for women, only managed to call them weak, useless and clueless.
वेस्टर्न कल्चर बहुत बड़ी कमी है। आज हमने वेस्टर्न कल्चर तो अडॉप्ट कर लिया, लेकिन उनकी बुराइयों को हमने नहीं देखा। आज पिक्चर जो नग्नता परोस रही है, क्या ये बहुत अच्छी है? टीवी पे सीरियल में जो नग्नता आ रही है, क्या ये बहुत अच्छी चीज है? कपड़ा भी उसके लिए बहुत बड़ा जिम्मेदार है।
लड़कियों को, जर्नलिस्ट को भी अकेले जाती है, लेकिन लड़के लोगों को भी पुलिस को इन्फॉर्म करके जाना चाहिए। रिमोट इलाका में वो भी लेना चाहिए। वो जगह ही है महाराष्ट्र, बम्बई, जानते हो कैसा जगह है।
In this edition of Speak Out India, we ask, is learning self-defense the only way to handle rapes? Have Indian women become victims of a medieval mindset? Is castration for rapists the only deterrent for the crime? Are candlelight vigils an outrage, merely passing fads? Speak out, this is your show. Call us and share your thoughts. Call us on the numbers flashing on your screen and we'll put your views on air. We also have a panel of guests tonight in this particular Speak Out. Vasundhara Pathak Masoodi is an advocate in the Supreme Court. Many thanks, Vasundhara, for joining us. Also joining me tonight in the studio is Manan Datta. He, of course, teaches self-defense. He's a self-defense instructor. Many thanks, Manan, for joining us as well. Let me start with you, Vasundhara, if I could. This particular gang rape case in Mumbai has blasted many myths. First of them being that Mumbai is a relatively safe place for any woman in the country. It's high time we saw the reality, be it Mumbai, Delhi or a village in any other part of the country. Women are not safe anywhere in this country. It's not about cities, it's about what happens to women every day on a daily basis all across the country.
See, to begin with, I must say and emphasize on the fact that when we analyze the issue of eve teasing, of stalking or groping, we find that it is basically, they all are the coy and ephemetic terms for sexual assault, which takes place across the world beyond any particular community. It's always taking place everywhere, right? So it's not restricted to a particular community, particular nationality, particular state or particular village. And the root cause, which is the major and the predominant factor behind such crimes, is the patriarchal mindset. It is the patriarchal mindset which only considers that woman is a subject, it's just an object for satisfying the carnal lust. We need to go and think beyond it. A woman is a mother. She is the creator of society. We need to actually teach the people in our society regarding the importance of women.
And examples of that, and Manan, I think you'll agree with me, examples start in our own families when the son and the daughter are brought up differently, when the son is pampered and the daughter is told to be not to go out at night. We'll come back to that. We have lots of questions for you, but we have our first caller on the show tonight. Rajpal from Mumbai is calling. Rajpal, go ahead.
You see, sir, learning self-defense by the girls and ladies may not be the only thing, but what we require are the deterrent punishment, because last time the law was changed, but it has no effect on these people. Secondly, these cases which are going to fast-track courts, in fact, they are very slow. Though there should be procedure of summary trials. In summary trial, only the important points are discussed and the judgment is given in a month. I think the best solution will be summary trial. And then again, because in Bombay, we have a very weak Home Minister, and this Home Minister should change, because this Home Minister is only after these bankers. He is depriving them of their daily wages, of their, I mean to say, earnings. And we don't have also a very efficient police commissioner. We had two good police commissioners formerly, Mr. Sanjeev Dal and Mr. Pathak, they have gone. But
okay, Rajpal,
police commissioner is not very efficient.
Rajpal, I completely agree with you when you say there should be summary trials, there should be quicker system of judicial system should act slightly faster. But isn't what you're saying also politicizing the issue? What difference does it make what party's home minister is there in the chair or what police commissioner is there? Don't you think the problem lies, like my panelist said, in the mindset? If anyone else was the home minister there or the police commissioner there, this rape would have still happened. Don't you agree?
That's right. But you see, in fact, what happens? They are not going meeting the people and listening to their complaints, and they have no touch with the public. They must have touch with the public. And then summary trials, when I say this trial will be very soon over, and they will be punished.
Okay, Rajpal, I take your point about summary trials and a faster judicial system to perhaps even fast trial courts to see cases of rape. Another caller right now, again from Mumbai, this time Kailash. Kailash, go ahead.
Yeah, with all due respect to you, anchor, and the guest, see, you cannot change what mindset you're talking about. There is no mindset. The mindset is all corrupt. Everybody even myself, everybody has a criminal inside. Half is time, half is God. So there is nothing called mindset. You cannot change anything. यादों के भूत बातों से नहीं मानते, okay? And secondly, डांस बार वगैरह, चाहे डांस बार हो चाहे रेप हो, औरतों का जो भी एक्सप्लोरेशन होता है वो बंद होना चाहिए. And secondly, आप बोलते passport code. What is the passport code you're talking about? Let's look at the Delhi case. 8 months, nothing is happening. And the secondly, why is not happening? So victims to the parents, they have been bribed, they have been given job and house, and so they have lost the interest. They're not coming out in open and they're complaining. Why this case is taking so much time?
कैलाश, माइंडसेट चेंज क्यों नहीं हो सकता? क्यों नहीं हो सकता माइंडसेट चेंज? आप अपना माइंडसेट क्यों नहीं चेंज करना चाहते, या किसी और का क्यों नहीं करना चाहते?
माइंडसेट चेंज करना चाहिए, बात सही है, लेकिन आज के जमाने में nobody is going to become citizen. What mindset are talking about? Who is going to change? आप प्रवचन देते रहेंगे, किसको प्रवचन देंगे आप? पुलिस को प्रवचन देंगे, मेरे को प्रवचन देंगे, तब तक रेप होते रहेगा. What are you talking about?
No, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you at all. I don't agree with you at all. I think you also suffer from a parochial mindset, Kailash. If you don't want to change the mindset of people who are...
We have to, but you cannot change.
No, we have to try. I'm sorry, we have to try. If we don't try, then we are no good. Then these rapists.
Tell me how. How you tell me how? By conducting classes? By conducting training classes?
By doing whatever it takes, Mr. Kailash. If you lose the fight against rape right now, then you've lost your country as well.
Please tell me how. We will do it. Please tell us.
No, I don't think you'll take part of that because you don't want to change the mindset of anyone.
No, we are doing it.
No, Mr. Kailash, shouting on the phone does not make your point or get your point across. I'm sorry, but I have to condemn what you said right now. Mindset will change, has to change, and we will make it change. I'm sorry. I don't think he had a suggestion, Manan. Manan, coming to you right now, coming to the central theme of our debate right now. Do you think self-defense, and this could be just one a possible step that we could take? This can't obviously take care of the whole situation, but perhaps is that the direction that we could take? Tell girls, tell women to take self-defense classes, and if they are, of course, in a situation like that, perhaps they reduce the chances of getting violated.
They considerably reduce the chances. Because if you're put in a real situation, in a self-defense situation where you need to defend yourself against an attacker or somebody who's assaulting you, if you have learnt how to protect yourself, you are obviously in a much self-defense situation where you need to defend yourself against an attacker or somebody who's assaulting you. If you have learnt how to protect yourself, you are obviously in a much better situation. If you have no clue as to what to do and your natural reflexes and your natural instincts take over, what is happening is you're in a state of chaos. You know, you don't know what's happening. You're suddenly being attacked. You don't know what's happening. So if you are prepared for those situations, you obviously give yourself a much better chance. Now again, preparation has two sides. One is the mental side, one is the physical side. Just knowing how to, let's say, punch somebody or kick somebody.
Or disable an attacker in any which way.
Or disable an attacker in any which way is not self-defense completely. Self-defense also includes being aware of your surroundings. Self-defense also includes being mentally programmed in a certain way, because when you are attacked, let's say you're walking out of a restaurant at 11 in the night and suddenly you're attacked, your natural response will be to panic. So you have to, with training, change that response.
I think
be alert.
I think I get what you're trying to say. Perhaps I saw it somewhere or I read it somewhere. Perhaps something to do with muscle memory. If you train enough for a particular thing, then you just do it as a second nature.
Absolutely, that's absolutely correct. Like our second nature, if we touch fire, our reflexes immediately signal our muscles to pull back. Similarly, if I'm attacked right now, because I'm trained, my state of mind will not be, oh my God, what's happening? My state of mind will be, all right, I'm in a self-defense situation, now this is what I need to do.
Okay, we'll take two more calls right now before I come back to you, Vasundhara. We have one caller from Delhi and one caller from Kashmir. Dr. Munir from Kashmir, go ahead first, then I'll come to Mathur from Delhi, but Dr. Munir, go ahead first.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, this thing has been going on now on the television for maybe a year or so, And then if you look at newspapers, you see every day all the newspapers are full of, you see, rape reports. But we get sporadic, you see, outbursts for such, you see, nominated cases. I think the whole country, in the matter of rape, should stand up and take a strong note of it. And you see, if you can just leave this to the legal system, your legal system is already so slow. It's very slow. Today in my hospital, the three nurses were assaulted by an attendant, and I had to run from pillar to post to get them justice. But if rape takes place, I think another 4 or 5 years, people will take to street and lynch these rapists if the government doesn't take any action. I'm sorry, but this is the fact of it. We have been listening to debates and calling for resignations and this party and that party. No, the whole society is responsible.
Dr. Munir, I take your point when you say the judicial system is pretty slow in the country, and that's perhaps also one reason why rapists go around doing what they do with such impunity, because they have no fear of the law. One more caller, Mathur from Delhi, go ahead. All right, we seem to have lost that call. Coming back to you, Vasundhara, there are other issues here as well. It's not just the slow judicial process. It's not just the lack of fear of a law, or perhaps even slow police investigation. There are also bigger factors at play here. Like we said, gender sensitization begins, or should begin, particularly when kids are really young. We should have classes in schools. We don't have that all across the country. It begins at families. It begins in your home. Would you agree?
Atar, see, first of all, let me bring to your notice. In January, I filed a PIL post that 16 December gang rape case. And in that PIL, we were very categoric in seeking that there be a direction to the schools and colleges and the other educational institutions, wherever it is possible, to introduce the education and awareness programs at an appropriate level in each educational institution with regard to the importance of women in society, vis-a-vis the important laws that deal with the sexual assault. The purpose is that once you are giving awareness, you are educating them on constant basis, you are actually somehow manipulating their minds and helping their minds to orient in certain way so as to respect women wherever you find her, as a woman in your home, as a woman outside on the roads, as a woman in cinema hall, as a woman just like a journalist who had gone there, or a student. So the whole purpose is to generate a kind of an atmosphere where we can really prick the collective conscience of the society to help each and every one to respect women. Because see, we are the society where we are known to take our laws as merely suggestion, and it's very regretful.
Manan, let me get you in here. I mean, do we also suffer from, I'm talking about the whole country as a whole, as one. Do we also suffer as Indians from a parochial mindset, or even to some extent misogynistic mindsets? Because the biggest reason, the first thing that politicians like Mr. Naresh Agarwal, who is of course the Samajwadi Party leader, he says that this is because of Western culture. People always say that, oh, women wear skimpy clothes, or roam around late at night, that's why they get raped. I mean, these silly excuses, we always hear this. But how do you explain this particular rape? There he is, she's a photojournalist on an official assignment, in broad daylight, with a male colleague, not even alone, she still gets raped. I mean, do we suffer as a country from a really medieval misogynistic mindset?
There's not really much to say here. These are all excuses. Everybody knows it. These are excuses. You cannot justify crimes. You cannot say somebody is getting raped because of the kind of clothes they are wearing. It's like, it's illogical. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I would say somebody with a grain of common sense would not make a comment like that. It doesn't make sense.
It's a pity that most of our political leaders are the ones who are saying all of this. One more caller from Gujarat this time. Paresh Panchal, go ahead.
जी दो बात कहना चाहूंगा कि जिस देश की संसद में 33% क्रिमिनल्स है और क्रिमिनल्स के लिए बैठ सके, इसके लिए कानून भी बनाया जाता है, उस देश के भविष्य की और वर्तमान कैसा होगा ये एक समझने वाली बात है। और एक लेटेस्ट मैं बताऊं, बिहार के लातेहार में एक महिला पुलिसकर्मी उसके रिलेटिव की डेड बॉडी को लेके जा रही थी, उसी के ऊपर गैंगरेप हुआ है। पुलिसकर्मी पर गैंगरेप, महिला पुलिसकर्मी पर गैंगरेप हुआ है। तो हमारा देश आज, देश की मानसिकता कहाँ जा रही है, इसको सुधारने के लिए क्या करना होगा? देखिए, एक बात है, सख्त कानून तो लाना पड़ेगा, सख्त एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर की देश को जरूरत पड़ेगी, बिल्कुल सख्त जुडिशरी की हमें जरूरत है, और एक इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म की भी बड़ी आवश्यकता है। इन पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों से भी देश को बहुत मुक्ति की जरूरत है। महिलाओं को लोकसभा में ज्यादा से ज्यादा 50%, 40% तक उनके लिए रिजर्वेशन करने की भी जरूरत है। धन्यवाद।
Okay, there's another caller from Sonipat we'll take right now. Mr. Sharma, I think if I'm getting your name right, go ahead.
Yes. I'm from Sonipat, and there is a problem in the mindset in India right now. The mindset has to be changed, and it can be changed only with the education. Now, the first thing is that if we educate our people, our kids, and we give the proper education to the school kids, then I think this can be removed. And other thing which we have to do is some kind of a judicial system. It should be there like Saudi Arabia. If you do something wrong, then the eye for eye.
Okay. Perhaps we haven't got to that stage yet, but although seeing the amount of rapes that are going up across the country, I don't think it's too long from where everyone starts chanting an eye for an eye. Going back to you, Vasundhara, we've been aghast when the Nirbhaya case happened. The whole nation was outraged, as we like to call it. There were candlelight vigils everywhere. There were protest marches. The same thing is happening right now in Chennai, in Mumbai, even in Delhi right now. But do you think, to some extent, when this outrage really comes out, we are all agitated, we are not happy about the state of affairs, but do you think it passes off like a fad? People have really short memories?
Like a storm. It passes off like a storm. And then there is a lull. So what I try to say is that we need to evolve a comprehensive strategy. The comprehensive strategy must include provisions for deterrent punishment, so that once and twice there are cases that can exemplify that, look, if you do this, you are being given such punishment, and such punishment should be so exemplary in nature that it should really terrify those who think to rape. They should be forced to think twice, thrice and 10 times before they even actually think of committing such a crime.
Do you think capital punishment or castration is the only way to go?
See, I do believe that there has to be a deterrent punishment, and that is an issue where we need a lot of discussion. But at the same moment, I may say that castration is absolutely not an answer, given the fact that we are living in an age where we have latest scientific advancements and technologies. Anything can be done later.
Okay, one last question. I want to get mine.
I would like to comment on what she just said. Even though I totally agree with you that if you set an example, then that teaches people something, that sends out a strong message. But at the same time, people who rape, they're not mentally stable. So, most of them aren't. That's what the reports say, that's what the researchers say.
No, you can't say so. How can you say, see, someone who's...
Okay, we are short of time, Vasundhara. I apologize for interjecting. I have one last question for you. On the question of self-defense. Now, I agree it's a good idea to make women and young girls learn self-defense so they can defend themselves in a situation, God forbid, if one arises. But does self-defense or self-defense techniques or mechanisms work when they're facing multiple attackers? If there's one girl and there are 6 to 7 people attacking her, do you think it'll be as effective?
The unfortunate truth is it will not be as effective. I don't want to paint a fancy picture here. What you see in movies does not happen in real life. Even an expert like me would not be able to overpower 6 attackers. It's humanly not possible. So,
but it is a deterrent, if not the deterrent.
Yes,
okay,
that's correct.
It can be one of the deterrents.
It can be one of the deterrents.
Because
it's a short-term solution.
What do you do where a victim is a little girl, where she is an old woman? Where would you go?
Absolutely.
So, self-defense is of course a very good measure.
So we come back to the mindset then. That
Plus
is of
it's
course
a
the biggest
short-term
problem.
solution.
It's of course a very good measure, but not a measure in seclusion. It has to go along with other measures.
Okay. On that note, I'm afraid I'm running short of time right now, but many thanks Vasundhara for joining us, and Manan. Thank you so much, all the callers as well. We have to remember one thing. It is, no matter what anyone says, it is about the mindset. Unless and until we change ourselves at the family level, at the school level, catch them young, teach them how to respect women, treat them as equals, this problem is not going to go away. And that's something that you should think about, that we should think about, that I definitely, of course, will encourage everyone to think about. That's all the time I have. I'm Atar Khan. Good night.